Okay, so for the next question is, how do I feel about the online IT tool after I have completed the task and elaborate and compare to my previous experience. So I think using online IT tools is much more easier than using software such as Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop because during my high school time, I was in multimedia team and I need to use Illustrator or Photoshop quite a lot. So by having online editing tools such as Canva, it makes my works easier because the elements, the template is there. So I just need to edit, just adding a few things. And the ideas are also there. So it makes my works easier. And what did I learn through the activity? What did I learn is throughout this semester, I learned that this PEC really taught me a lot about how to use Canva, Storyboard, and also Powtoon. Um, it really makes my works easier and more the content of my the content of my works is much more creative than before. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, let's give Mark for Hazim's reflection first. I'm done. Afika, are you done?
I'm done.
Okay, so I think I'll go next. So for my reflection of the PC 700 IT skill subject, the first question is what was your task? So my task for this project is to create the storyboard where I had to manage the little details about the storyboard from creating the story idea and also compiling the images and textures into the storyboard itself. So that was my task. So what was the online IT tool that you used to complete the task? So as I mentioned before, the IT tool that I used for my task was storyboardthat.com. It's not necessarily a software, but it's a website that you can browse on your normal search engine. It is an interesting IT tool, to say the least, but it provided a lot of interesting elements that makes a storyboard interesting. For example, we can add our own image, or we can add sample images that's already been uploaded into the storyboard itself. The third question is, what was the problem or issue did you encounter during the activity and while using the online IT tool? One of the problems that I encountered while using the storyboard is that it's very laggy, not because of the internet connection, but the software itself is very slow. And we had a lot of trouble using the website itself because of how laggy it is. And we even tried using different devices. We used our phones, we used our laptops, we used tablets to try to manage through this issue, but it worked out okay to some extent, but it still had some trouble during the time of creating the storyboard itself. Also, one of the issue that we encountered is that a storyboard that requires a premium account for you to do more than two storyboard at once. So that was a trouble since the membership fee is quite expensive, so we didn't opt for that option. Number 4, how was the problem resolved and what was my effort? So for the first problem I mentioned before, the laggy website itself, there's nothing much that we could have done except from trying it over and over again. So the way that we resolve this issue is by using multiple devices. So since we are using the same email, so everyone has access to the storyboard itself. and we can also access it through different devices. So for example, when I did the storyboard, I used my laptop at first, then I changed it to my PC, then I changed it to my tablet to navigate through this issue that we found. And for the second issue, which is not having a premium membership, is that we used our brain a bit, and we found out that we can complete the storyboard task by dividing it into 3 different accounts. So for example, for this storyboard, that I had my fair share of part that I did, Hazim did his fair share of part, Afrika also did her part. So with that, we were able to complete the storyboard. How do you feel about the online IT tool after you have completed your task? Elaborate and compare your experience before. To be honest, I don't think that it changed much on my feeling about IT tool, because I've been using IT tool even way back since my high school times. But one interesting thing that I found during this subject is the introduction to new software tools. For example, Canva, Powtoon, that I've never used before. And learning this subject has made me realize that there are other viable software options on the internet that I can use for free. And what did you learn throughout the activity? One thing I learned throughout the activity is that I realized that using IT tools requires a lot of effort. It requires you to sort of research a lot of the details, because you don't have an idea to create the task itself without having a few references for you to look up to before finding your own idea. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Sham. So now it's my turn to do a reflection.
Wait, before that, you should give me marks first.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I already gave up.
Okay, Afrika, you can proceed.
Okay. Hi, my name is Nur Afrika Patricia. So now it's my turn to do a reflection based on what I have learned in this subject, which is IT skills. So in this class, there were 4 tasks that we had to complete both individually and as a group every week. So this task has definitely improved my understanding and ability to use editor tools. The first task that we were required to do was to create a group logo based on the title that we chose, which is Awareness on STD. And this activity was quite fine, but because it allows me to use my own creativity to create my own logo. The second task that we done was to create a poster to promote our awareness campaign. So in this task, we include the information regarding our campaign, and both first and second tasks were done by using an editing tool, which is called Canva. So for those who are not familiar with Canva, Canva is actually editing tools, online editing tools, a platform that allow any users to create a wide variety of materials such as posters, flyers, and many more. So the third task that we did was to create a storyboard that related to our awareness. So for this task, we use a website called Storyboard.tag. And I think one of the challenges that we face is during this task, as it it was quite challenging, and it was our first time using it. So in order to create the storyboard, we had to choose and arrange the character, right? So the issue here is it took a longer time to be completed. So for that reason, we resolved the issue by dividing our part, so we can get it done faster. The first task that we were required to do was to create an animation video, which is through Powtoon. It is an interactive way to talk about our awareness campaign. So in this task, we inserted variety of character and with colorful font and design to make it more interesting. And what I feel about learning to use these IT tools is, before this class, I kind of wasn't confident to create online content or visually appealing content. But I think with the assistance of these online tools such as Canva, it has made the process much easier. So my experiences before using and knowing the online IT tools were different because other editing tools that I used before, such as Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Lightroom, they are more complicated. So they kind of doesn't offer much template to be edited. So to conclude on what I have learned in this subject, throughout this class, I think we have had the opportunity to explore a variety of editing tools and techniques, and from basic photo editing to more advanced video editing, I have learned how to manipulate the media to create more interesting content. So I think learning these skills has also helped me to become a more understanding consumer of digital media, and I am grateful for the opportunity to learn these skills in this class, and I look forward to continue to improve my skills in the future. I think that's all for my reflection. Thank you.
Okay, so let's give marks to Afika first. I'm done. Hazim, are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, so that's all from us. Thank you.